Alrighty, so I just installed the AeroTurbine AT3535XL, which is the longer version muffler here on the Deuce and a half. And when I have a chance on YouTube, I'll post all of the part numbers for the brackets and things like that I did. I went ahead and installed the pipe, angled at a 45, kind of like commercial trucks do now, rather than having just pointing straight out. And other than that, everything went pretty well, except this bracket was broken. So what I did was I took the existing clamp that was used right here, right, that I now have this bigger clamp, the 6-inch clamp on there to hold this muffler. But anyway, this bracket was broken for the support here for the tube. So what I did was I welded one of the pieces of the old bracket on there, and it just happened to be that this 3.5-inch clamp that was probably going to be in the bolt bucket, I welded this other piece on there, and it just happened to fit just right. I did have to take about 5/8 of an inch off of the U-bolt to get it to clear up there, but all in all, pretty nice. You can start to see the paint turning pink from the heat right there, and use these beefy muffler clamps. And I fabricated this bracket here from a piece of scrap stainless steel to allow, rather than the existing bolt holes for that 3.5-inch U-bolt muffler clamp, to this big 6-inch one, which if memory serves, it's 6.5 inches center to center on there. And then another clamp, and then the tailpipe piece there. I got in a hurry going through this. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. Took a lot of welding and fabrication to get this thing patched up. There was a big old hunk of JB weld on there. This isn't a permanent fix, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. And what I did is the piece that was out of here, I took about a 10-inch length of it and about 3 inches wide, or where the worst of the holes were, and I cut it with V-shapes and then bent it to fit pretty close. And I got Tualatin Exhaust Specialties in Tualatin, very nice guys, to weld this in there. And then when I got home, I used my TIG machine and patched up some other little spots and that sort of thing that were pretty thin. So all in all, I think it'll last a good while. There it is. Everything's painted up. Eventually I'll do something to put the brush guard back on. It won't fit now because it just happens to be the same diameter as the muffler, or real close to it, so I'll have to make a couple brackets and shim it out. My expectation is here, from running it briefly before, that when running it real hard, the heat where the baffle is here inside this AeroTurbine muffler, the hot gases go around the outer part, and I think the cool gases go through the center part of this design. So anyway, what happens is this part of the muffler turns pink because it's not getting as much of the convection running down the road, and the exhaust gases are just hot enough to bake that paint pink. So hopefully, when I put the shroud back on there, it'll hide that. Otherwise, I'll have to put like some black high temp paint or something like that on there. But all in all, I'm very happy with it. It has a bit of a throaty growl. Most of the C-turbo whistle is gone. Still a little bit of it. And it still makes a pretty good amount of noise, like 2200 RPM and up, when you're running it hard, like in overdrive or in fourth, going up a grade. There's a commercial truck just stopped for the light here. So I'll wait for these guys to move, and I'll jump in and give her a start. I'll leave the camera angled a little over towards the muffler, and Alrighty. Sticky belt. Lift pump on. And now you can hear all the rattles here in the cab, whereas you couldn't kind of hear them very well before. And now at idle, it's much quieter, but there's that throaty growl. Also, I've noticed absolutely no change in exhaust gas temps, either from before or after the muffler. So I'm pretty happy with that too. I was a little concerned about back pressure, not with this muffler design, but with some of the muffler designs. I'd be concerned about a little bit of excess back pressure. Another thing I wanted to mention was I got in a hurry, and the little chunk of pipe that comes out of the muffler for the tailpipe tip there, the ring on the end is welded on crooked, so that's why the pipe's crooked. It's not that I installed it crooked, it's actually the weld joint from the factory part is crooked a little bit. And also I cut that, the tip of that pipe is at about 112 inches. In my truck, the top of the bows are at 113 inches. So I can use that pipe now. If I have any concern about clearance, I can use that pipe